every police force in GTA 5, ranked from street cops to federal power. The LSPD is your everyday street-level heat in Los Santos. These are the cops you see cruising around in their black and white police cruisers and police interceptors, writing tickets and getting absolutely demolished the second you blow past them at 120 miles per hour. They patrol the city proper Vinewood, downtown, Little Seoul, Vespucci Beach, basically anywhere there's pavement and civilians. Their jurisdiction is tight, their response is predictable, and their aim is mediocre at best. At 1 wanted star, they'll try to arrest you. At 2, they'll shoot. The LSPD exists to make you feel powerful until you're not. They're cannon fodder with badges. The thing about the LSPD, they're everywhere. You can't drive 3 blocks without seeing a cruiser, and that's by design. Rockstar built Los Santos to feel like a living city under constant surveillance, and the LSPD is the backbone of that illusion. They respond to gunshots, traffic accidents, civilian calls, random acts of violence. If you punch someone on the sidewalk, they'll arrive in 30 seconds. If you steal a car in front of a police station, they'll light you up before you shift into second gear. The LSPD is not dangerous because they're skilled. They're dangerous because they're persistent, predictable, and infinite. Kill 1, 2 more, show up. Kill those, 4 more arrive. The wanted system in GTA 5 is a war of attrition, and the LSPD is designed to exhaust you, not outplay you. According to Dave Norton during Three's Company, LSPD officers receive only 2 weeks of training, which explains their incompetence. They'll crash into civilian cars mid-chase, shoot each other by accident, and ram into walls at full speed trying to pin you down. But that incompetence doesn't matter when there's 50 of them and 1 of you. LSPD also runs specialized divisions. The Harbor Patrol operates police predators on the water around Los Santos and the Alamo Sea. They're rare, poorly armed, and only show up if you're causing chaos on a jet ski or speedboat. They're functionally identical to street cops, just wetter. The LSPD Aviation Division pilots police mavericks that start showing up at 3 stars, with sharpshooters leaning out the sides firing carbine rifles. Helicopters are the real threat in any prolonged chase because they don't lose line of sight. You can weave through alleys, duck under bridges, hide in tunnels, but if that chopper's still overhead, you're tagged, and ground units are coming. At night, they'll even shine a spotlight on you. The only way to shake a helicopter is to shoot it down, lose wanted stars entirely, or find a parking garage and wait it out like a coward. And officers at Los Santos International Airport wear bulletproof vests and carry carbine rifles, making them slightly more dangerous than their street-level counterparts. Then you've got the Los Santos County Sheriff's Department, usually called LSSD, and they're a different flavor of law enforcement. The LSSD covers both Los Santos County and Blaine County, meaning they patrol the rural areas, the highways, the desert, and small towns like Sandy Shores, Grapeseed, and Paleto Bay. Their sheriff cruisers are tan and white, and their deputies wear beige shirts with green pants. Despite Dave Norton claiming during Three's Company that LSSD deputies receive better training than LSPD officers, the GTA Wiki notes they behave identically in driving and gunfight tactics. But that doesn't matter out in the wilderness. The LSSD is more aggressive in practice, faster to escalate, and they know the backroads better than you do. You might outrun them in the city, but in Blaine County, they'll box you in on dirt paths you didn't even know existed. Jurisdiction matters here. If you cross from Los Santos into Blaine County mid-chase, the LSPD breaks off and the sheriffs take over. It's seamless. It's realistic. It's annoying as hell. The LSSD also patrols the highways and operates across a massive territory that includes mountains, desert, swamps, and forest. Blaine County is the largest rural area in the entire Grand Theft Auto series. The sheriffs out here deal with meth labs, biker gangs, gun runners, and Trevor Phillips. They're used to violence. They expect it. So when you show up causing chaos, they don't hesitate. The terrain works in their favor too. Los Santos has alleys, tunnels, parking garages, 1,000 places to break line of sight. Blaine County has open desert, dirt roads, and nowhere to hide unless you're willing to drive off a cliff or into the Alamo Sea. Park rangers from the San Andreas State Park Rangers patrol wilderness areas like Mount Chiliad, the Tongva Valley, Paleto State Forest, and the Grand Senora Desert. They drive green park ranger trucks, wear campaign hats or baseball caps with green and brown uniforms similar to sheriffs, and they'll pull their sidearms if you cause trouble. But they're slow, poorly armed, and completely irrelevant unless you're actively trying to get wanted stars in the middle of nowhere. They exist for immersion, not challenge. If you're being chased by a park ranger, you're either role-playing or you've made some deeply questionable life choices. They're technically law enforcement. Stealing their vehicles or assaulting them will give you a wanted level just like attacking any cop, but they're the bottom tier of the food chain. Interestingly, park rangers will even chase and shoot at mountain lions if they spot them on patrol. Now we move up to news. specifically the News Tactical Response Unit. News stands for National Office of Security Enforcement, and they're GTA's version of federal tactical teams. Think Homeland Security meets SWAT. The Tactical Response Unit deploys when you hit 3 stars, and that's when things start to get serious. They arrive in FIB Grangers or Sheriff SUVs depending on whether you're in Los Santos or Blaine County, with 3 officers per vehicle, 1 driving, 2 hanging off the sides firing carbine rifles at you. News TRU also shows up in police Mavericks overhead, and if you're in an open spot, they'll rappel out of helicopters and engage you on the ground. On rare occasions, a police Maverick will even land if there's enough room, deploying a full team of 4 nose officers directly toward you. They wear tactical black gear, helmets, and body armor. They move in a crouched position, they use cover effectively, and they coordinate like an actual tactical unit. News TRU doesn't mess around. They're well protected with body armor, though a single headshot will still drop them instantly like any pedestrian. But they're more resilient than street cops, more aggressive, and they pursue relentlessly. At 3 stars, News starts to back up local police. At 4 stars, News becomes the dominant force. They'll set up roadblocks with spike strips, block roads with armored police riot vehicles, and deploy from multiple helicopters at once. Up to 3, police Mavericks can be involved in a pursuit, though typically only 2 will be active at any time. The News TRU is the escalation point in GTA 5's Wanted system, where casual chaos becomes a legitimate survival challenge. You're not just evading anymore, you're fighting. At 4 stars, News teams are sent specifically to eliminate you. They're armed with carbine rifles and pump shotguns, and they throw tear gas grenades to flush you out of hiding spots. Roadblocks become heavier and more frequent. The police riot, a massive armored truck, shows up to block roads, and it's slow but nearly indestructible. At 4 stars, if you're anywhere near Fort Zancudo on the ground, soldiers and crusaders will engage you with assault rifles and pump shotguns, but they won't chase you outside the base's perimeter. 4 stars is where the game stops being forgiving. You're fighting for survival. At 5 stars, the maximum wanted level in GTA 5, everything intensifies. There is no 6-star wanted level in this game, unlike older GTA titles. 5 stars is the ceiling. The streets fill with law enforcement. Civilian traffic nearly disappears. Police and news units flood the map, setting up multiple roadblocks simultaneously. You'll face an indefinite number of police cruisers, news.tiu vehicles, and up to 3 police Mavericks hunting you from the sky. The response is overwhelming, coordinated, and designed to kill you. A significantly higher proportion of news units will be involved compared to 4 stars. If you're at Fort Zancudo with a 5-star wanted level, you'll face rhino tanks using their 120mm cannons against you. Military vehicles like Crusaders and barracks will spawn. 5 stars is total war. The entire map becomes a battlefield, and every cop, every agent, every soldier has one mission: end you. But the absolute peak of law enforcement in GTA 5 is the military at Fort Zancudo, and they operate under completely different rules. Fort Zancudo is a restricted military installation located on the west side of the map, south of North Chumash Beach and southwest of Mount Josiah. It's marked as Lago Zancudo on the map, and it doesn't show up as a military base, it just looks like empty space. The base houses the United States Marine Corps and Army personnel, including hangars full of P-996 Laser fighter jets, Rhino tanks, Buzzard helicopters, cargo bobs, and Titan transport aircraft. The moment you enter Fort Zancudo's airspace by plane or helicopter, you get an instant 2-star wanted level and a radio warning. You have about 10 seconds to divert course away from the base before the wanted level escalates to 4 stars and anti-aircraft missiles are fired at you. P-996 lasers will scramble to intercept you with lock-on missiles. If you enter the base on the ground, whether you drive through the checkpoint or jump the fence, you get 4 stars instantly. No buildup, no warning, just sirens, soldiers, and gunfire. The soldiers stationed at Fort Zancudo don't arrest, they execute. They're armed with assault rifles and pump shotguns, they wear tactical gear, and they will gun you down on sight. If you continue causing chaos inside the base, killing soldiers, destroying vehicles, stealing aircraft, your wanted level will escalate to 5 stars. And that's when the Rhino tanks roll out, using their cannons to obliterate everything in sight. Fort Zancudo represents the ceiling of escalation in GTA 5. The soldiers are faster, more accurate, and more lethal than any police force. They represent the final wall between chaos and total annihilation. And the fact that you can't normally trigger a full military response outside Fort Zancudo in regular gameplay makes them feel even more ominous. They're the force you're not supposed to fight unless you deliberately invade their territory. The military doesn't patrol Los Santos. They don't respond to bank robberies or street crimes. They're exclusively territorial. You have to go to them, And when you do, they remind you that some places in San Andreas are off-limits for a reason. Since GTA Online's Smuggler's Run update in 2017, players can purchase hangars inside Fort Zancudo, which grants them access to the base without triggering a wanted level unless they try to steal a vehicle or fire a weapon. But in story mode, Fort Zancudo is pure hostile territory. One more force worth mentioning, even though it's not in the vanilla game, the San Andreas Highway Patrol. In the base game, there's only a single SAHP Officer PED model and no SAHP vehicles. They're referenced in the Paleto score setup mission but never fully implemented by Rockstar. It's a weird omission for a map with an extensive highway system sprawling across the entire state. Modders have since created full SOP vehicle packs based on the California Highway Patrol, but in the vanilla game, Highway Patrol is essentially non-existent. The LSSD and LSPD handle highway enforcement instead. The ranking is simple. LSPD street cops are nothing, LSSD deputies are slightly better, nothing with more territory. Park rangers are a joke. News tar you at 3 stars makes you think, 4 stars makes you fight, 5 stars makes you run for your life, and Fort Zancudo's military reminds you that there are places in this game you're not supposed to survive. But all of them together create the most sophisticated wanted system in any open-world game. They overlap, they escalate, they adapt. The LSPD will chase you until the sheriffs take over. The sheriffs will chase you until news deploys. News will hunt you until you're dead or you escape. And if you're dumb enough to breach Fort Zancudo, the military will make sure you understand why it's a restricted area. Let us know which wanted level is your favorite in the comments section. When law enforcement fails in GTA 5, violence fills the gap. And no character represents that violence more clearly than Trevor Phillips. His story explains exactly why force alone can't control Los Santos. That breakdown is next.